with his family, rather than, of course, alone in a dirty Mexican prison. Hammar's family is from Florida, and several members of the Florida congressional delegation, including Senators Bill Nelson and Marco Rubio, helped lead the fight to free the Marine. But perhaps the most vocal of all of them was Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, who joins us now from Miami with the inside story of how this all went down. Congresswoman Ros-Lehtinen, it's so good to see you. And y'all have been beaten up over there in Congress. You know, your approval rating's way down, but now we see Congress actually gets results, with the help of the Factor, of course, and all of Fox News. But go ahead, tell us what happened. How did this all go down?
Let me tell you, well, absolutely. Fox News and the Riley Factor, you guys saved his life. I mean, literally. Remember that as you said in the top of the program, the parents tried to do it the old-fashioned way. Jon has been rotting in that jail since August, and the parents did the right thing. They wanted to go through different channels. They hired lawyer after lawyer after lawyer. They had prayer services going here in our community, and they didn't contact us until just a few weeks ago. As soon as they contacted us, boy, constituent service is what I live for. And we pounced on this story, and thanks to you guys at Fox, you were able to save his life. And who knew how this story was going to end up? The parents knew that they were taking a risk, but so far their easy manner was not getting them results. So they said, we've got nothing to lose. And those first days of media attention from Fox were really rough for Jon, because the guards would rap on his cell and say, hey, gringo, what are you doing? Why is the press calling? So thank you to everyone who prayed for Jon. Thank you to everyone who worked for Jon. And let me tell you, Laura, the members of Congress, we had over 70 members who signed a bipartisan letter to Hillary Clinton and Jenna Napolitano demanding that they get active on this case, because up to then, all we were hearing were status reports of Jon shackled to his bed. This was shocking.
Congresswoman, why did that happen? I mean, Bill's going to go into a lot more on this in the new year, but why did this happen? I mean, you know, the parents decided to wait to contact you. I mean, I would have been contacting everyone, but look, there are people who did it their own way, and I respect that. But what about the State Department? It would seem that if you have an American Marine, 2 tours of duty, suffering from PTSD, and this obviously was some trumped-up deal. You know what happens with extortion down there.
Absolutely.
Why wasn't the administration on this? Or maybe they were behind the scenes and just didn't get anywhere? To me, it seems very strange.
It is very odd, and we kept calling, and we made all the right inquiries about what are you doing and why aren't you stepping up to this case, because our embassy should be advocating for the release of Americans who are unjustly detained, not just give us status reports. So it took a lot of congressional pressure, and it took a lot of media attention. Fox, again, I'm telling you, you guys, what you did for Jon Hammar, that family is just so grateful. They're constituents of my congressional district, but what they've got happening there in Mexico, it is an unruly place. We wish the new president, Peña Nieto, much success. He's going to reform the penal system, the whole judicial system, but those jails, many of them are run by the drug cartels. That's why the inmates, the fellow cellmates of Jon Hammar, were calling the parents in the middle of the night saying, your gringo son is dead unless you pay up. Just imagine what these parents have been going through. Thank goodness that the people in the church were really holding them up and praying with them and making them strong. But this is a racket. This is a business that they have going on in Mexico, where they get citizens and then they try to extort money from them.
And Congresswoman, I think a lot of folks watching right now aren't aware of the fact that I think it was between January of 2011 and last June, there were 144 murders of Americans in Mexico. Now, a lot of people still go and they vacation in Mexico, have a great time. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm not talking about that. But it is a dangerous place. And you end up behind bars in Mexico, and this is, you know, Mel Gibson did a whole movie about this called Gringo, as a matter of fact, and I watched that, and it sounds like what was playing out in this situation with Corporal Hammar. And money, they want money, they want whatever they want.
Absolutely. And even to this day, when he is being processed out of the prison, and we have the State Department, Consular Affairs, Custom and Border Patrol, Immigration Services there. They've got their black Suburbans ready to take him the 15 to 20 miles to Brownsville across the border. It has taken all day to process him out of jail. So there are very few checks and balances there, and one has to be very wary about, hey, look, this is a great country. There's no place like home.
Well, Congresswoman, thanks so much for all your work, and we really appreciate
Thank you, Laura.
joining us.
Thanks to Fox.
All right, and directly ahead, the Republican Party delivers a